What's up, everybody? This is Dr. Zeb, and welcome to the Rehab Christian Center Sunday morning live virtual experience. And I'm so grateful to be here with you today, and certainly hopeful and prayerful that all is well with you, your family, and everything concerning you. We are so excited to be on the air with you this morning, and certainly hopeful that wherever you are and whatever it is that you are doing, that all is well with you. Again, it's good to be with you on this very cold Sunday morning. I think it's going to be kind of cool here in North Carolina. But it's good to be with you nonetheless, and certainly hopeful, again, that you've had an amazing week and an amazing weekend. I know I certainly have. It's been very busy, very productive, but also very fun. It's been a great weekend, and certainly hopeful that everything is well with you. Listen, I need you to start liking the video and sharing the video wherever you are, whatever it is that you're doing. I need you to start liking the video, sharing the video, and let's get the word out about Proverbs chapter 17, part 2. We are on the last leg of what has been an incredible series. And again, it was not intended to be one, but it turned into one. And it has really been an outstanding series. So much feedback is poured in from all over the place regarding this series, The Wisdom of Proverbs. And so we're going to do the last leg today with Proverbs chapter 17. We're going to try to get through the entire chapter. And I really liked last week. I know I was kind of rushing. I had some other things to do, but I really liked the timing of last week. And so we're going to try to maybe not go as fast as we did last week, but certainly be mindful of the time this morning, especially for those of you that are traveling. I know I've got a couple of people that are out of town this weekend. We've got a lot of people that are involved in homecoming things related to our area here this weekend, and certainly hopeful and prayerful that all of you have been safe and really enjoyed yourself wherever you are. But I'm excited to bring to you part 2 of Proverbs chapter 17. I want you to like this video, share this video if you have not already. And then I want you to also say good morning in the chat area. Make sure you do that on all of our networks. We had a little bit of problems, I think it was Tuesday, on Instagram. I don't know what was going on with the channel, or it may have been last Sunday. My days run together, but certainly hopeful that I've gotten that taken care of and resolved this week. But again, just so excited to be here. The last leg of Proverbs, the wisdom of Proverbs, Proverbs chapter 17, part 2 is what we're going to deal with. And I'm so incredibly excited to share with you on this morning. So start liking the video, start saying good morning in the chat area. I see so many of you saying that already. And then make sure you hit your share button on whatever network you're on, and tag a couple of people and tell them to tune in this morning because we want to share with all of you the second part of Proverbs 17. Tuesday was just such a wonderful time, and excited to share this second part on this morning. So if you're watching on Facebook, you can find us on Facebook at the Rehab Christian Center. You can find us on Instagram at theREHABexperience. You can find us on YouTube at TheREHABCC, TheREHABCC. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like this video, share this channel, subscribe to our channel, so you can be notified, just like on all of the other networks, of when we are live and on the air. But we are, again, so grateful for you and so thankful to be tuned in to you this morning. Would you believe that in 2 days we will be in the month of November? And that's insanity to me. It just seems like literally yesterday we were talking in January about 2022. And we will literally be in the month of November in 2 days. And that's just so crazy how fast this year has really flown by. It is incredibly, this year has flown by incredibly fast. But we are so excited and grateful to be here and to be alive. And certainly hope that wherever you are, that all is well with you. Listen, let's prepare for the declaration this morning. If this is your first time tuning in, you may not have ever seen this before. But many people ask us, what does REHAB stand for? And REHAB is an acronym that represents the 5 pillars by which we attempt to operate ministry. And so every single Sunday, we walk through those pillars. Why? Because it is critically important that you speak the right things over your life. When you speak the right things over your life, you see the right things in your life. And so we start off every Sunday broadcast with our declaration, and we walk through those 5 principles. And I encourage you, wherever you are, if you're driving, if you're at work, if you're still laying down in the bed, like I know many of you are, or maybe you're already up and you're getting ready for brunch on this morning and you've got to travel out of town, whatever it is that you're doing, I want you to stop what you're doing and repeat this declaration with me. And what I know you will discover is that you will see that your perspective regarding the week and really how you start off your week will start off in an incredibly different way as you wake up every morning making these declarations over your life. All right. And so you should see it on your screen, regardless of the network that you're tuned into. And even as we're going through the declaration, keep inviting people to the broadcast this morning, because when we finish this, we'll do a couple of quick announcements and we'll get right into Proverbs chapter 17. All right. So wherever you are, repeat this declaration with me. Say this with me. Restore. We declare that everything that is broken, lost, hurt, or destroyed that belongs to us and has been designed by God is restored. My faith is restored. My joy is restored. My mind is restored. Even my lost time is restored. I am no longer broken. The fact that I'm alive means I have another chance. My faith has restored me. And right now, His love is making me whole. Evangelize. Say this with me. We declare that God helped us so we could help somebody else. He loved me when I was unlovable. He changed me when I was a mess. His love lifted me when I was down. I'm not perfect, but I am free. And anything that came for me can't keep me. Because I'm free, my circle is next. My family is saved. My friends are blessed. My plans are successful. My goals are ahead of schedule. And anything connected to me is blessed, just like me. Hope. Say this with me. We declare that everything that is missing is not lost. In Jesus, I have hope. And this hope makes me confident. It doesn't matter what happens to me or around me. I'm going to win. My relationships are winning. My goals are winning. My family is winning. My neighbor is winning. This city will win. And my row, even the virtual one, has the victory. My past is defeated. And my future is brighter today than it was yesterday. Alternatives. I hope y'all saying this with me. This is amazing. Say this with me. We declare that God made us different. I'm a royal child, the light of the world, and the hope of my city. I respect the past, but I don't look like what I've been through. I love the church, and my life is balanced. I love coming to church, but I like flights, boats, and vacations. My whole life is blessed. I am the head and not the tail. I am above and not beneath. I am a lender, not a borrower. And every place I go belongs to me. Breakthrough. Would you say this with me? We declare that God has a breakthrough with our name on it. I have some challenges, but I am not defeated. No weapon formed against me can prosper. And I know that all things are working for my good. Things are not breaking down. They are about to break through. There is a breakthrough in my career. There is a breakthrough in my home. There is a breakthrough in my health. There is a breakthrough in my finances. I am here on purpose, for a purpose, and everything that went wrong is getting ready to turn around. My friends, if you made this declaration with us this morning, I need you to do me a favor. I want you in the comments in all capital letters to type, "It's going to get better." We got 2 more months to make this declaration. And somebody needs to know that even if it seems like your life has taken a turn for the worse, the good news is sometimes things have to get absolutely worse before they get better. I want you to type in the comments quickly in all capital letters, "It's going to get better." Hurry. As you're inviting people, as you're tagging people, as you're telling people to tune in, I need you to tag even somebody in all capital letters, and tell them it's going to get better. That is my encouragement for you today. I don't care what it looks like. Doesn't matter what the doctor said. Doesn't matter what how you feel about your job. Doesn't matter the bumps in the road that your relationships or your marriages have gone through. The good news is things are going to get better. And God's going to allow you to see better days. Type it in the comments quickly. It's going to get better. Hurry. It's going to get better. Good. I see so many of you doing it. It's going to get better. Tag somebody if you have not invited them already. Tag somebody and tell them it's going to get better. The sun is going to shine. And I ain't talking about the S-U-N. I'm talking about the S-O-N. He's going to shine in your life, and he's going to literally turn everything around. I'm excited about this. And man, listen, I'm so grateful you tuned in. Do me a favor. I'm laughing because I really screwed this up this week. I want you to type in the comments the scripture for the week. This week's scripture for the week is Romans chapter 12. All right. Romans chapter 12 is this week's scripture for the week. Would you type that in the comments for me really quickly? Romans chapter number 12 is this week's scripture for the week. All right. Romans chapter 12. I want you to read Romans chapter 12 in addition to all of your reading this week, to supplement everything that you read, not just biblical, but whatever else that you read or that you're involved in. We should all be reading every single day something. You all know Pastor is a big advocate of reading. So you should be reading something every day. But I want you to add Romans chapter 12 to your weekly reading routine. We will be back Thursday for Explanation Thursdays. This is a true story. I had so much going on this week, not bad things, just really busy. It was an incredibly busy week. And I was taking Giselle to gymnastics, well, not gymnastics, to therapy. She's been in therapy since she's gotten out of gymnastics. And so this was about 3:10 because our appointment was 3:15, and I'm backing in the parking space. And then it hit me, Zeb, you didn't post Explanation Thursday. And it was 3:00 in the afternoon. I be having a whole lot going on, y'all. It is a lot to manage. And sometimes I have a human blunder moment. And so I apologize to all of you sincerely for not posting my Genesis 10 explanation. I've got it recorded, got it edited and everything. And so I sincerely apologize for not posting Genesis chapter 10. I know y'all probably was like, what in the world is this dude doing? He forgot about us. I didn't forget. Well, I kind of sort of forgot, but I got drowned up in all of my work, and I'm going to really just have to get more help in this social media space because it's a lot to manage. And so I apologize, but Genesis chapter 10 was a very powerful book. You probably read it and was like, why did he choose this? Well, it's a genealogy chapter where the writer talks about the sons of Noah. But you've got to read chapter 9. And this is a little bit of what I talked about on the video. You got to read chapter 9 to understand chapter 10. Because in chapter 9, we see the aftermath of what God did when he floods the earth with water. But he preserves Noah, his sons, and 2 animals of every kind. And in doing so, Noah then has an incident where he drinks wine from his own vineyard. He gets drunk. And one of his sons doesn't cover him, and his other sons do. And it's believed that the son that didn't cover him is the son that represents where us as Black people are descendants from. And I really spent some time debunking that, right? Black folks are not cursed. And so it's just a really powerful historical genealogy text. If you're into nerd stuff like me, and I'm a total nerd, you would have really enjoyed that explanation. I said to myself I was going to post it on Friday, but then I didn't have a phrase for Explanation Friday. Didn't make sense. So, Pastor's just going to take the L on that. So I apologize tremendously. And we will be back for Explanation Thursday on this Thursday. So again, we're going to be, I want you to read Romans chapter number 12 this week. All right. Romans chapter number 12. Tune in for Explanation Thursday. Continue to spread the word about rehab. And of course, tag me in your stories, tag the church in your stories. And this today, if you do share today, make sure you use the hashtags REHABCC and Proverbs. All right. REHABCC and Proverbs. Now let's get into it. Proverbs chapter 17. Proverbs chapter 17 is where we are. I am in the New Living Translation. All right. Proverbs chapter 17 is where we are. We are wrapping up the wisdom of Proverbs. I want you to put in the text, Proverbs chapter 17, and let's start at verse number 10. All right. We were able to get through verse 1 through 9. Very powerful conversation that we had on Tuesday. If you did not watch Tuesday's broadcast, make sure you go back and tune in and check it out. It was really an awesome time. And so we're going to pick up here and we're going to get through Proverbs chapter 17 today. And I really just hate to see this series come and go. Really do. It's going to be sad not to be teaching this every week. And it's actually been really easy for me to study because I read a chapter of Proverbs nearly every single day, almost every day. And so this was a very easy chapter and series to teach for me. And so it made studying a whole lot easier, but really going to miss this today. All right. So Proverbs chapter 17, verse number 10, New Living Translation. Let's walk through this verse by verse. We've got 18 verses to go, and we're going to get through this on this morning. Verse number 10 says this, Proverbs 17 and 10, a single rebuke does more for a person of understanding than 100 lashes on the back of a fool, which is really easy to understand. When you rebuke a person who is wise or who wants to understand, when you rebuke them, that does more for them than hitting somebody 100 times on their back, right? And, I got into an interesting conversation this week about discipline in children with a colleague, and got into an interesting conversation about discipline and should we discipline our children. I believe that you should discipline your children, but I also believe that you should instill to them the importance of gaining wisdom, because the reality is if a child does not want to be wise or want to grow or want to do better, you can beat them to death and they still not going to get better, right? And this is why I tell parents, you need to talk to your children just as much as you hit them. If you hit them, right? If you hit them, you need to talk to them as much as you hit them, because wisdom is not built through lashes. Wisdom isn't built through a belt. Now, a belt will make you think twice about doing it again, right? Come on. A belt will make you think twice about doing it again. A switch. Some of y'all don't even know what a switch is. I grew up at a time where they used switches. We had neighbors in the neighborhood. Sister Marsha Gradley, I'm sure she's not watching. I'm calling her out. Sister Marsha Gradley across the street used to have switches, and they used to braid switches. I'd never seen that. We were kids, and they would take 3 switches and braid them. I'm telling you, it was just a different time, a different day. But even in all of that, a switch, a belt, a broom, whatever you got hit with, none of that fixes your behavior. Doesn't necessarily fix your behavior. What it does is those things make you think twice about doing what you did, right? And so Proverbs 17 and 10 tells us this, that you can correct a person who wants to be wise one time, and it'll do everything for their life. You can beat a person 100 times, but if they don't want to do better, ain't nothing gonna change. Okay, look at this. Proverbs 17, verse 11. Good morning, everybody tuning in. Make sure you say good morning in the chat area. Jump right in. We're on Proverbs chapter 17, verse 11. Evil people are eager for rebellion, but they will be severely punished, right? And we talked a lot about this month, but evil people just have a proclivity to want to do more evil. And the more you want to do evil, eventually the greater your level of punishment when you're repaid is going to come, right? Which is why, as much as possible, every single day, you should try to find ways to want to do well by people, to want to do well by situations. You shouldn't wake up every morning asking yourself, whose nerves can I get on today? Right? Who can I rub wrong today? Who can I cuss out today? Who's going to be the first person to get cussed out? You shouldn't have those kind of thoughts every day, but every single day you should actually wake up looking for ways to be a blessing and to be an impact in a positive way to somebody. It's so important. Verse number 12. We're moving, y'all. And I like this about Proverbs 17. I said this Tuesday. Let me just reiterate this morning, because I didn't start open by saying this, and I should have. Proverbs 17 is one of those chapters that literally teaches all kinds of things about all kinds of things. So if it feels like I'm jumping all over the place, it's because the chapter is jumping all over the place. Like, it literally jumps all over the place. And I've got some notes for you all to record in the comments. We're going to get there in a second. But it's one of those chapters that offers wisdom about a variety of different things. And it's another reason why I like this particular chapter. Now, verse 17, or chapter 17, verse 12. Look at this. It is safer to meet a bear robbed of her cubs than to confront a fool caught in foolishness. I want you to record this. This is your first note. Put it in the comments. You're going to be the smartest person at the water cooler all week long. Put it in the comments right now. You ready? Never waste your energy correcting foolish people. Come on. Never waste your energy correcting foolish people. Come on, record it. Never waste your energy. I need y'all to write this fast. Correcting foolish people. When you attempt to correct somebody who is intent on being foolish, doing foolish stuff, doing stupid stuff, don't want to do better, you will find yourself more drained in the process trying to correct somebody who doesn't want to do better. You can never correct a person who does not want to do better, who does not desire to have better, who does not desire to be better. Right? Never waste your time, your energy, your effort trying to correct foolish people. Y'all, you got to know who to argue with. You got to know who to back off of when it comes to argument. I don't even waste my energy arguing with everybody. Right? Number one, I got to care about you in the argument. Right? So if I'm going to argue with you, it is a good sign that I really care about you and I care about what we're talking about. That's number one. Right? So I don't even argue. If I don't care about you or care about the topic at hand, I'm just not going to waste my time. And then number two, this is really important. If you foolish, I'm not going to waste my time going back and forth with people who foolish, who don't want to think, who's frankly, and this is going to sound a little bougie, but y'all bear with me. And I'm keeping it a buck with you. I don't even argue with people who ain't even on the same mental level, on the same intellectual level. Now, I know, guys, if you think you're better than everybody else, no, I don't think I'm better than everybody else. A lot of people think I'm better than them. And if you think that, it's probably the case, right? I never said that, and I never say that. But one of the things that I learned a long time ago is that intellectually, you never stoop down to people's level. Some of y'all have been at work and you have found yourself in arguments with coworkers who just don't want to see the truth, who don't want to hear the truth. And what do? You literally stoop down to their level, trying to convince them to understand something that they don't have the capacity to understand. And some of you need to hear this. Stop trying to attempt to make people understand stuff that's beyond their capacity. Stop trying to feed people food beyond their capacity. Have you ever seen a 2-year-old walking around with a filet mignon? Have you ever seen a 2-year-old ordering grilled red snapper? You know why? Because that food, even though it's great for us, it's beyond their capacity. And we have to stop trying to force feed arguments, conversation, information into people beyond their capacity. Because when you do, you're not going to do nothing but frustrate yourself in the process. Stop. This is going to save a whole lot of y'all from a lot of arguments. We're out of family reunion season. This year really flew by fast. We out of family reunion season, but next year when y'all get to these family reunions and you're around family and cousins you ain't seen forever and aunts and uncles you ain't seen forever, and y'all be having conversations and topics come up, and you know what you're talking about, and they don't know what they're talking about. They got a little bit of liquid courage and they just running them out. Don't get into back and forth with people who are not on the same intellectual, spiritual, emotional level that you're on, because you're going to leave that conversation frustrated. And they're going to leave that conversation thinking they're accomplished. Are y'all listening to me? They're going to leave that conversation thinking they're accomplished. You're going to leave that conversation frustrated, and nobody has won. Never stoop down when it comes to correcting people, correcting foolish people especially, or correcting people who don't want to be better. And that's even something else you all need to hear. Some of you have wasted good feedback and good advice on folk who just don't want to change, right? And you've got to get to a place in your spirit where you learn how to lay off giving that great feedback and honest feedback and encouragement and advice to folks who just don't want to apply it. In those cases, sometimes the best thing you can do is pray for them and step back. Y'all listening? Right? So don't do that. Look at verse number 13. We're moving, y'all. Proverbs 17, verse 13. This blessing anybody? Are y'all sharing the video? Make sure you share it. Folks on Facebook are sharing this video like crazy. Thank y'all so much. Look at this. Proverbs chapter 17, verse 13. If you repay good with evil, let me make this bigger because I got a lot of things going on in here right now. Good. All right. Proverbs 17, verse 13. If you repay good with evil, evil will never leave your house. Did y'all hear that? If you repay good with evil, evil will never hear your house. This is for all of you who have returned people's good deeds with evil deeds. I don't care if you don't like them. I don't care if they frustrate you. I don't care if you're going through a hard or a tough season. It is never wise to repay good with evil. The Bible says here that if you repay people's good deeds with evil works, evil will never leave your house. And some people right now are in seasons of their life where literally one thing, one bad thing, one negative thing is happening after the other, because somewhere along the line, they have returned somebody's good with evil. Never do it, y'all. Never do it. Never return good with evil, because evil will never leave your house. Look at this, verse number 14. We're moving. This is good because we got some other things to come. Look at this. Verse 14. Starting a quarrel or an argument is like opening a floodgate. So stop before the dispute breaks out. Did y'all hear that? Starting an argument is like opening a floodgate. So stop before dispute breaks out. Let me see by show of hands, emoji hands, that is. Let me see by show of hands. How many of you know people who love to start arguments? Who love to just be argumentative? You've got to be careful around people who are argumentative, who love to start arguments, who love to look for something wrong, who love to try to find something wrong, who are quick to try to point out that something's wrong. You got to be careful. You got to be careful with people like that, because folks who like to start arguments a lot of times don't even realize not only what they're getting themselves into, but oftentimes what they're getting somebody else into. Being argumentative typically is a sign, and I don't want to go deep here with y'all on this today, but I want to just share this quickly. Being very argumentative is typically a sign of some deep-rooted hurt and some deep-rooted wounds and some deep-rooted things that we have to work out in our lives, right? People don't just wake up every morning. Normal people. Normal people don't just wake up every morning and say, I think I want to start 5 arguments today, right? Normal people don't just do that. But there are people, but you've heard it proverbially say, people proverbially say, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed, right? There are people who do wake up in negative spaces consistently. And what I've discovered with people like that, who then in turn out to be very argumentative, very confrontational, kind of inconsistent in how they deal with people, how you can deal with them or address them. I've discovered that these are typically people who have some hurt in their lives that they have not worked through. And I want to encourage all of you in this season of your life. I don't care if you have to go to therapy. I don't care if you have to see a coach, life coach, whatever it is that you do. Set up some sessions with your pastor. I don't care what you have to do, but I need you to, in this season of your life, work through the hurt in your life so that you don't end up making everybody else's life miserable because your life is miserable. Are y'all listening to me? Hurt people will make everybody else's life miserable because they don't like their own life. Are y'all listening to me? Hurt people will make everybody else's life miserable because they don't like their own life, right? And I'm speaking transparently here. There were seasons I went through in my life where literally I knew I had some things I had to work through, some hurt I had to work through because I was making life hard on everybody else, and they didn't have nothing to do with nothing, right? They had nothing to do with nothing, but it was because I had not worked through my own pain. I had not worked through my own hurt. And when you don't work through your own hurt and your own issues, you will make life hell for everybody else. Some of you are argumentative with folks, not because you're bad people. You're argumentative because you have not worked through your own issues. And I'm here to tell you, you've got to work through your own issues so that then you don't become argumentative, hurtful, abusive, passive aggressive, all of these things with other people because you have not worked through your own wounds. Is this making sense to anybody at all? Right? Right, Jade. It's where we get the phrase hurt people, right? You've heard that phrase before, and it's so true. People don't just hurt you randomly unless they've got some mental challenges going on, and that's possible, right? I'm not minimizing people who have mental issues or mental disorders or things like that. Unless they've got some mental challenges, people don't just wake up every day and say, I want to hurt somebody. People who tend to hurt people like that are typically people who are already hurt. And when hurt people and they do it consistently, they've got to get to a place where they learn how to work through their own pain so that they can be better with other people. Because if you don't work through your own hurt, eventually you're going to hurt somebody. If you don't work through the spaces where you need to be healed, you're going to eventually say or do something to hurt somebody where they're going to need to be healed, right? So work through your own challenges so that you don't become very argumentative and quarrel-like, all right? This is good. Proverbs chapter 17, verses 15. All right, Proverbs chapter 17, verse 15. Look at this. I'm in the New Living Translation. Acquitting the guilty and condemning the innocent, both are detestable to the Lord. So what we learn here is what God really hates, what he detests, is when you let the guilty go free and when you condemn people who hadn't done nothing. This is why social justice and the church and religion should always be connected. Now, I'm going to make some people mad here. I'm going to make some people mad here, but let me just put this out here. Social justice and the church should always be connected because we serve a God that does not like to condemn innocent people and does not like to acquit people that are guilty. And that is the root of social justice, right? When you understand the premise of social justice, you understand that social justice is greater than race. Social justice is really about making sure that people who are innocent go free and people who are guilty have to pay for what it is that they did, right? And so I have a problem with churches, with pastors, with religious leaders who are afraid to speak up on things related to social justice or social justice movements. Now, listen, I'm not saying you got to be Martin Luther King Jr. I'm not saying you got to make that your entire, the entire premise of your ministry or your movement or your church or whatever it is that you do. And granted, some people have that calling. There are people in religious spaces who have that calling, who do that work incredibly well. Jamal Bryant's one of those people, does that work incredibly well. He has that calling. It's more than just being a pastor. His calling is that in the social justice thing, and he does it well, right? That ain't necessarily my calling. Mine is more, pastoring, but it's really helping in a non-traditional way, in a self-help, personal development way. I found my lane. I feel good. It feels good here, right? Know your lane and stay in it. But you can ask anybody that knows me at Rehab. If something goes down that's wrong, Dr. Zeb ain't scared to say something, right? Why? Because God literally cringes when we let innocent people be condemned, and he cringes when we let guilty people walk away free, right? And so people who know God and love God have to remember that sometimes you have to be a voice for people who don't have an opportunity to have a voice themselves. Okay, so I think this was a verse I couldn't wait to get to here, because I hear a lot of times I've heard people say this. I don't know why they're talking about social justice movement at church, and why they spend all this time at church talking about what the cops did. And I've heard people do this, and I've had conversations with folks. Why did churches spend so much time and pastors spend so much time talking about what cops did and what politicians did, and why y'all talking about that at church? I come to church to hear about the Lord. Well, part of hearing about the Lord is hearing about the fact that he don't like for innocent people to be locked up, and he don't like for guilty people to be walking the street. See, we don't look at this from this lens, but the Bible has answers for everything, and that includes the social justice movement, right? And so as much as you possibly can, again, I'm not saying you got to go out here and be Martin Luther the King, right? That's coming to America, y'all joke. You have to be Martin Luther the King out here and start marches. You have to do that, because that may not be your calling. And by all means, if it's not your calling, don't be out there doing it, because it looks a whole lot more fun than what it really is, right? But whatever your lane is, find that, but understand you have an obligation as a believer to make sure that people are treated fairly, right? That to make sure that your neighbors, people around you, are handled in the right way, okay? You got an obligation there. Y'all forgive me acting crazy this morning, talking some Martin Luther King. He said Martin Luther. He didn't say Martin Luther the King. He said Martin Luther the King. Verse number 16. Proverbs 17, verse number 16. Y'all laugh. Dr. Zeb loves to laugh. Look at this. Proverbs 17, verse 16. Look at this. It is senseless to pay to educate a fool, since he has no heart for learning. You can really connect this to what we talked about earlier, right? People who have a desire for wisdom. Y'all, you wasting your money when you're investing in folks who don't want to learn, who don't want to be better, who don't want to grow, who don't want to be smarter, who don't have a heart to want to grow, right? It says it's senseless to pay money to educate a fool. Look at verse number 17. Here we go. This is good. I'm ready to make some of y'all mad. Get ready to record a note here. Verse number 17. Proverbs 17 and 17. A friend is always loyal, and a brother is born to help in time of need. A friend is always loyal, and a brother is born to help in time of need. Y'all ready? I want you to record this. You ready? I want you to record this right now. Loyalty is a lost heart. Is a lost art in today's time. Loyalty is a lost art in today's time. I need you to record this because this needs to sink into somebody's head, right? Loyalty is a lost art in today's time, right? I hate it because this generation throws out words like loyalty and love and commitment and brother and sister, and people don't have an idea of what it takes to be loyal. People don't have an idea of what it takes to be in love. About to get in trouble. People don't have an idea of what it takes to call somebody brother and sister. You know, people bro me to death. People bro me to death. And I agree with you. I just saw your comment, Dr. Vance. That was really good. Wow, I just saw that. Yeah, we might need to do a talk on that social justice thing in Christianity because people really miss that. And that's so good. I won't forget that. You know, people really talk a lot about bro this and sis this, and I don't even let people bro me to death. I don't. Now, you can call me brother. Yo, what's up, bro? And I ain't going to, cut you off. I ain't your bro. I'm not going to do that, right? That's being rude, right? I'm not going to do that. But I probably won't say bro back, right? Or sis back, right? So if you a sis and you call me bro, what's up, bro? And you really not a sis, I ain't going to be like, what's up, sis? Because I'm not going to give you that just to make you feel good about what you call me, because this is what I learned. A real brother and sister, for real, they born for adversity. A real brother and sister, for real, they're born for a hard time. I want you to write this in the comment right now. A real friend or brother or sister is born for adversity. A real friend or brother or sister is born for adversity. A real friend, a real brother, a real sister, y'all need to type this in, is born for adversity. Come on. A real friend, a real brother. I'm saying this until I see y'all typing. I don't see nobody typing. A real friend, a real brother, a real sister is born for adversity. I'll stop the broadcast right here until y'all type, because y'all need to hear this. A real friend, a real brother, a real sister is born for adversity. A real friend, a real brother, a real sister, y'all ain't typing, is born for adversity. Born for it. This is why I don't call people bro. This is why I don't call people sis, unless you really a bro and you really a sis. How do I know you're a bro or a sis? Well, I just gave you the definition. You know somebody's your brother or sister. Like Proverbs 17 and 17 says, if you can find them during your time of need. When things get hard, there's somewhere to be found, right? When things get hard, they don't take off running. They don't discount your relationship and everything that you've had to that point. They don't throw that in the tubes because things got a little tight. A real brother or sister is born for adversity. When things get hard, their friendship, their broship, their sistership, your relationship, if it's a relationship, it gets stronger when things get hard. Oh, it's quiet. I'm going to just let that marinate for some of y'all. So some of y'all can stop calling people brother and sister. I just don't randomly do it. And I know that's a cool thing. Now, what's up, bro? Saw some people out this week. What's up, bro? Doc, what's good? It's good to see you, man. So glad you're doing that. What's up, bro? Hey, man, what's going on? That's normally my response. Hey, sis. Hey, sister. Hey, girl. Right? What's going on? Right? Because if you're not no sis, I'm not going to even give you that label. Right? So if you want to know how many brothers, sisters, friends you got, If you want to know how sure that relationship is, ask yourself one question. If things get hard, and I mean real hard, I'm not talking about basic hard, had a bad day, woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about things get hard. I'm talking about you might wake up in the morning and your face is in the newspaper because somebody got on your nerves, cut you off, and you slapped them, and you've been charged with second degree assault. I'm just making this up randomly. You've been charged with second degree assault, and you wait, and everybody wake up the next morning. Let me just give you the scenario. If we woke up the next morning and your face was in the newspaper, you have been charged with second degree assault for slapping somebody. Who are the people in your life that's going to hold you down unconditionally and without judgment while you go through your public embarrassment? And any person that you can say definitively right now are people that you got good relationships with or that you can call brother or sister. And if you can't say their name, guess what? They're not your brother and sister. I know y'all don't like this because we like to anoint people brother and sister. Bro this, sis this. Let me tell you what the last 2 years taught me. The last 2 years taught me for real. When things get hard, keep yourself together, but pay attention to what's around you. Because it's during your hard seasons that you find out who's really brother, who's really sister, who's really holding you down, and who's really been looking for a chance to walk away. Oh, y'all quiet in this virtual church today. Y'all quiet in this virtual church. It takes adversity and difficult seasons and difficult moments in your life. It takes valleys to figure out who ought to be riding in your car, not mountains. Everybody want to get in the car when you're on the top. It takes a valley season to figure out who ought to be in the car in the first place. Did y'all hear what I said? It takes, man, I got to record that. That was good. It takes, who teaches and records notes at the same time? It takes a valley season to figure out who should be in the car in the first place. You putting people in the car when you made it. No. You don't put people in the car when you make it, because everybody wants to get in the car when you're on top. Everybody wants to ride when you got it together. Everybody wants to ride when things are going well. Everybody wants to ride when there's no adversity with you. There's no conflict with you. There's no drama with you. There's no challenges with you, right? Everybody wants to ride in the car. That's not the time to put people in the car. The time to put people on your team is when you're in low seasons of your life, when you don't know how things are going to turn out. Or maybe you do know how things are going to turn out, but right now it's just dark. It's just low. You don't know when it's going to turn. You just know it's going to turn. That's the time you need to put people in your car, because people will show you what kind of brother, sister, friend, relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever they are. They will show you what kind of person they are when things get real hard. When things get incredibly difficult. All right. So y'all stop anointing people, brother and sister. Stop anointing people, BFF. Stop calling everybody that you interact with your friend. Everybody that you talk to is not your friend. The old folks used to say it like this: a friend to everybody is a friend to nobody. Y'all ever heard that phrase? A friend to everybody is a friend to nobody. Everybody ain't your friend. And you need to figure out who's bro and sis, not when you're on the top, but when you're in the bottom. I've been through some low seasons the last 2 years, very low. And guess what I discovered? A lot of people changed when things got dark. A lot of people changed when Dr. Zeb's bus got a little dark. People change. People change. When people start sensing stuff and hearing stuff, people change. That bus got a little bit dark. But you know what? I didn't get mad. Took notes. You don't get mad, take notes, because it's during your dark seasons where you really discover who you got. So when you come out of that dark season, because here's the good news, you ain't going to be in the valley forever. I'm a living witness, y'all. The light going to shine. The light is shining in Dr. Zeb's life. I can't speak for nobody else's life. It's shining. And here's the crazy part. It's shining, and I ain't even become a fourth of what I am going to be. Anybody else feel like that? Where your energy is just such in a positive space, where things are going so great in your life, where you can honestly say things are going well and you ain't even a fourth of who you're going to be. Y'all, I'm here to tell you, when life gets dark, that's when you figure out who your brother and sister is. That's when you figure out who your real relationships. And y'all, I have been paying. I think I was telling Sister Carissa and Mother Doris this. They pulled a drive-by on me and my kids. A couple of weeks ago, I was out taking them to eat, and they pulled a drive-by, and I was really upset with them about that. And I'm saying that publicly right now. I don't care if they don't like it. I was really upset. But they're such sweet people. And I was just, we're just talking. I told us, look, I appreciate y'all because in this season that I've gone through, that I've come out of, by the way, let me just say that, I learned a lot about people. A lot. A whole lot about people. And one of the things that I learned is you figure out what people really think about you when they think you on the bottom. Oh, when they think you're not going to make it, when they think things, the walls are caving in, when they think, oh, it'll never be. You've learned a lot about people. And I learned a lot about people. And I'm not saying that in a petty way. I'm not saying that in a negative. No. I have no negative thoughts towards anybody. I can honestly say that if I died in the morning, I would be judged by God from the perspective of he ain't got no problem with nobody. And I don't. I have no problems with anybody. And y'all, that takes growth and work. Right? And that's not something that happens overnight. All right. It takes growth and it takes work. And I've gotten to a place where I really feel just no ill will towards anybody at all. And that's a great place to be. But let me tell you something. It doesn't mean you won't pay attention. And some of y'all need to pay attention. Not when you're on the mountain. You need to pay attention when you're in the hood, when you're in the valley, when it's dark. Ain't nobody calling your phone. Right? I put something up about this. I did a TikTok about this. You know, some of y'all think because it's quiet, you losing. No. You're not losing. Just because it's quiet doesn't mean you're losing. You might be in a valley season where God has you by yourself so you can figure out who's on your team and who ain't. Right? I'm a former athlete. I hated playing at home. Why? Because when you play at home, everybody cheering for you, and you get out there, you be more relaxed, and you know you don't take the game as serious because everybody in the stands is on your team. No, I hate it. I ain't really like home games like that. I typically didn't play very well at home. Let me tell you where I played the best: on the road. As a Martinsville Bulldog, if you're from Virginia, you know what I'm talking about. So Martinsville Bulldog, we would go down the road and play Law Park in their gym. And it was like the people were sitting on top of you. And you came out there and they was booing and throwing stuff on the floor. And we used to have to get police escorts out and all of that stuff. Let me tell you something. I played my best ball. You know why? Because nothing turned me on more than to hit a shot and listen to the crowd do this. Nothing turned me on more. One year, I think it was my junior or senior. It was my senior year. We had beat Laurel Park, and I think it was only a couple seconds left, and I was on the free throw line, and I had to hit 2 free throws, and we ended up winning by 2. And I'm on free throw lines, maybe like 6 or 7 seconds left. The clip was in the paper and everything. And the crowd, they're making all this screaming stuff. I'm on the free throw line. We down 1. I'm on the free throw line, like 6, 7 seconds left. They crying, cheering, throwing stuff, trying to make me miss. Hit the first one. When you hit it, guess what the crowd does? Shut up. Had my second free throw. Hit it. I'm sitting there bouncing the ball, get my doing my routine. They screaming, ah! Hit the second one. Silence. Other team called a timeout. There's no better feeling than walking back to your bench, and the same folk that was screaming ain't got nothing to say. Y'all, just because it's silent in your life don't mean you losing. Just because folk ain't clapping don't mean you ain't winning. You better learn how to recognize valley seasons and know the difference between a valley season and a mountaintop. You could have come out the valley and you might be on the mountain, but the reason why the car is so quiet is because everybody that was in the car in the valley didn't deserve to be there on the mountain. Are y'all listening to old man today? So don't mistake silence as a bad season. God could have you in the valley helping you figure things out, or he could have you on the mountaintop. But the bigger thing you got to know is everybody don't deserve to be called bro sis. No. And you got to make a note of that so that when you get back on top, you don't put people in the car that did not deserve to be there. Are y'all listening to me? You don't put people in the car that didn't stick with you when you was in the car and you had to push it because you ain't had no gas money. Right? I had to fake it because you couldn't do this or whatever. All right? Good. That was good, y'all. Verse number 18. I'm almost done. I got to get through these 10 verses really quickly. Proverbs 17 and 18. It's poor judgment to guarantee another person's debt or to put up security for a friend. Right? Look at this. It's poor judgment to guarantee another person's debt or put up security for a friend. Now, I really wish I could spend some time on this verse. The proverb is saying here, we use poor judgment when we guarantee somebody else's debt, right? Somebody has a debt and we guarantee it by putting our name on it, right? Or we use poor judgment by putting up security even for a friend. Now, some of you are going to disagree with it. Well, you just said that's my friend and they ought to hold me down in hard times. I did, and the Bible says that, right? But I think what the verse is really getting to is being very cautious about how we allow finances to be involved with people that we call friend, brother, sister. Because money, this is a good wisdom here. Listen, money can really tear up friendships and relationships. I want y'all to record that. Money can completely ruin friendships and relationships. Y'all not tight. I'm giving y'all good wisdom today. I know Dr. Vance didn't say brick. Never bricks over here. Y'all got to check on that. Can tear up friendships and relationships. Money. When I do marriage counseling with people, I'm still being asked to do marriage counseling and things like that. I got another couple I'm about to set up to go through a session. But one of the things that I tell people all the time who think about getting into marriage, listen to me. There are two things that will tear your marriage up. There's a lot of things that can tear your marriage up, but two of the biggest things that can tear your marriage up is situations with your kids and money. Money can completely ruin friendships and relationships. And I believe this is what the verse is getting at. Doesn't mean you can't help a brother or sister. If you connected to a brother or sister who need a loan or something, if you feel led to do it, that's fine. But y'all better be careful lending out your money to your friends. Because if they go on a bad season or they say, yeah, they're going to pay you back in 30 days and then 30 days turn into 40 days later. Thank you, Minister Carlos, because Dr. Vance came for me on Facebook talking about some, okay, they were screaming that to you. I was going to say, I thought Dr. Vance came for me. Minister Carlos we played on the ball team together, and he'll tell you. And unfortunately, Sister Ashley, I think, went to Law Park. God bless her heart. But Mr. Carlos tell you, I didn't score 100 points a game. I wasn't the top scorer. I was solid on defense. They put me on the best player every game because I was like that thing that go over your hand when it get cold outside, called a glove. Literally, every place you went, I went. Every place you went, you didn't go to. Where did you go, Sister Ash? You didn't go to Martinsville? Did you go to Bassett? Where did you go, Sister Ash? This is so random. You went to Martinsville. I don't know why I thought you went to Law Park. I apologize to you from the depths of my heart. I didn't turn this thing into a whole personal session over here. I apologize to you from the depths of my heart. I did not know my dad was your principal. That's so crazy. I don't know why I thought you went to Laurel Park. That's so crazy. I apologize. I feel so bad. But Mr. Collins just told y'all. Look, Pastor played defense, but the other thing he did, ice on the free throw line. Ice cold. I don't care how big the pressure get, how much y'all cheer, put me on the line. No, let me stop making this so personal. Y'all crazy. But again, it's about being careful about loaning money to people that you're close to, because money and family can ruin relationships, marriages, but money can ruin friendships, y'all. There's a lot of people you say, yeah, you can borrow this for 30 days, and then 30 days later they hit another bump, and you trying to be a friend, but then you remembering that $700 that you let them loan, and now it's 30 days later and you need the $700. So we have to be careful in that space. I'm not saying you can't help people when they have hard times, without a doubt. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is be very cautious. Be very cautious about who you lend money to, and who you help out in financial binds, because it absolutely can ruin things. I'm so sorry, Sister Ash. I'm gonna be thinking about this all day. I owe you a real apology. Lord, I put Law Park on you. You never, thank God you didn't go to Law Park, because I'm about to talk major junk. All right, look at this. Verse number 19. Verse number 19. Good. I'm glad you guys enjoyed the interaction. I do. I really love this format, a way of teaching. And, even when we get back in the building, I still have been thinking about ways we can continue this on, because I have to do this. I just really enjoy this. I think a lot of people get a lot out of this format as well. Verse number 19. Proverbs 17, verse 19, New Living Translation. Let me hurry here and try to finish this up in 15 minutes. Anyone who loves to quarrel loves sin. Anyone who trusts in high walls invites disaster. So two totally different things. Let's deal with the first part. Anyone who loves to argue loves sin, right? So the proverb says, if you like to argue, chances are you like to sin. And I can see that connection, right? People who like to pick arguments probably are sinful people who like to do crazy things, right? The B clause is, though, anyone who trusts in high walls invites disasters, which means you can't just put your trust in things that you build, right? Right? We can't put our hopes in just things that we build, right? I like the old Baptist hymn, build your hopes on things eternal, right? And you get to a certain point in your life where even the things that you hope in and trust in are greater than things that you find security in. It was open enrollment on my job for benefits. And even just going through my open enrollment thing and my benefits and my death benefits, if something were to happen to me, it's always a sobering moment when you think about your elections. If something were to happen you were to die, where would your insurance money go? Who would get what percentage of this? That's a very sobering moment, right? But it's also it's a moment of gratitude, because it says that I built my hope for the future, for my children especially, on something greater than just daddy being around all the time, right? What happens if daddy's no longer around? Well, I've got some things in place where they're going to be good, and their kids going to be good, and probably their grandkids are going to be good, right? That's called building our hopes on things greater than what we can build. And I'm not going to turn this into a life insurance conversation, but I will say this. Pastor's a proponent of life insurance. Everybody on this call need to have life insurance. Listen to me. Just listen. We talking about wise stuff, right? Everybody, they're going to be sad. Yeah, they're going to be sad, but they ain't going to be broke. They're going to be sad. They're going to probably miss daddy. But broke, they're going to be far from broke. Far from broke, right? But I'm not going to make this a conversation about life insurance, but everybody on this call, you should have life insurance. And if you don't, you may say, well, you're paying all that money into life insurance and you don't see it right now. Well, get you some stock. Invest your money. You should have investments then. Whatever way will allow you to ensure that you have left something for people behind you is so critically important. All right. Because you took the words out of my mouth. Begging people on social media, I'm about to get in trouble. Oh God, I'm about to get in trouble. I probably shouldn't say this. I've been so positive. I'm still being positive. So let me make this caveat, because I'm on day 26 of my mental diet. So I'm gonna make this caveat. I'm not being negative by what I'm about to say. I don't have any negative or ill will towards anybody for what I'm about to say. This statement is not a statement to embarrass or hurt or harm anybody. It is to help somebody. You ready? Begging on social media when somebody died is not life insurance. A GoFundMe account is not life insurance. Because if you are depending on people who knew you and all they did was just know you to take care of you and your family when you're gone, it's not going to help. And Sister Ashley nailed it. Life insurance is cheaper than Jordan's. What I pay per month for an entire year If you add up what I pay per month for an entire year for the policies that I have for my children, I could buy probably 2 pairs of Jordans. I know y'all don't like that. You don't think I'm being negative. I'm not, y'all. But if you can go out here and get a Gucci bag, you can go get some life insurance. Let me just let that sit for a while. I'm gonna just literally grab my journal and let that sit, because I don't see enough hearts. I don't see enough amens. I don't see enough doc you teaching. I don't see enough of that. And y'all, let me make sure this microphone on. Let me say this part louder. You know why I'm spending some time right here? Because guess what race and community this impacts the most? Let me just set my pen down. Y'all don't want to hear this. Yeah. See, we homecoming, you look out, homecoming folk, Gucci down to the socks. But if you get hit by a car and you got to get on social media and you got all that Gucci in your closet, but you had no insurance, you were not responsible. See, we love to look good right now, and we don't like to think about what's going to happen in the future. And I'm here to tell you, you can look good right now and also be thinking about what happened in the future. I'm here to tell you, if something would have happened to me tomorrow, I'm going to look good. My kid's going to be set for a very long time. They're not going to have to cry and ask y'all for a dime. Not one. They're not going to have to compromise who they are and what they do to make sure that they're taken care of. All they will need at most is grandparents. They got the mom here, grandparents, to make sure that that money is held until they're 18. That's it. They don't need nothing else. And I'm not saying this as an indictment like something going to happen to me. So don't y'all even think this ain't going to be no cryptic message and we look up tomorrow and I'm gone. I'm going to be here a long time. I got a whole lot more work to do, a whole lot more fun to have. But y'all better hear what I'm saying and hear me in love. I'm saying this because I know predominantly, and we have all types of ethnicities that listen to our broadcast, believe it or not, that tune into our ministry, that are part of our ministry, that give to our ministry, right? So I'm not being disparaging to any race at all. But Black folk, y'all listen to me. If you can be Gucci down to the socks, then you ought to have a nice insurance policy. If you can have some red bottoms on, and as a guy, I'm here to tell you, you ain't gonna get no nice pair of red bottoms for less than $900. And you're gonna have to catch them on a sale. And that rarely happens unless that style is going out of stock. Those time I pay for red bottoms $11 to $100. But I got life insurance. Are y'all listening to me? Are y'all listening to me? And you can bury me in my red bottoms. My kids ain't gonna have to sell them to get money. Good, I love it. Dominican, yeah. I love this. I love the diversity. See, we have a very diverse ministry here. But let me talk to y'all. Us brown skinned folk. It's okay to look good, but take care of your business. Take care of your business. Get a life insurance policy. Well, Doc, I don't like life. Then invest. Take some of that Jordan's money, invest in stock, in other bonds and other things, so that you have a variety of sources of income. So if something does happen to you, your family is secure. It is not wise to look good in the present. And we all got to cry and beg on social media. You got to beg people. Come on, y'all, just $5. No. Y'all stop. No. If you setting up a GoFundMe when somebody dies, it should just be for that extra that you want to pay. You can afford red bottoms, Ms. Carlos. You just don't want to buy none. I get it. Everybody, you don't have to pay that much money for shoes. Pastors got expensive taste. You don't have to, you can afford them. I know you can. But it's okay if you don't want them. But you know what? The insurance policies sure come in handy, don't they? Because I got a few of them too. Everybody, Sister Ashley nailed it, almost nailed it. Everybody gonna be sad, but ain't nobody gonna be broke when I die. Nobody. You know what I'm saying? Because that's called taking care of business. Right now, let's get off this death topic. That's a little eerie. I want y'all to think someone, my kids sitting looking at me like, yes, change the subject. Ain't nothing gonna happen to me. This is a very important thing to say, and it needs to be said out loud, and especially in our community. Especially in our community, y'all. Especially in our community. Okay? Now, verse 20. I gotta hurry. I got 3 minutes. Of course, I already got you. Listen, okay? Verse 20. The crooked heart will not prosper. The lying tongue tumbles into trouble. That's pretty self-explanatory. When your heart crooked, you ain't gonna win. Your number one desire every day should be your number one prayer. I want you to record this quickly. Your daily number one prayer should be for a pure heart. Record it. Your daily number one prayer should be for a pure heart. Out of my journal. Your daily number one prayer every single day should be for a pure heart. David had that prayer. Create in me clean heart, renew within me the right spirit. Every single day, your daily prayer should be, God, give me a pure heart. Right? So a crooked heart ain't gonna prosper, and a lying tongue gonna fall into trouble. Y'all keep on telling lies. Keep telling lies. Eventually, you're gonna end up in some trouble you can't get out of. All right? Look at verse number 21. I gotta roll, y'all. It is painful to be the parent of a fool. There is no joy for the father of a rebel. I'm just talking to all you parents right now. There's not more painful than to have a kid that's foolish. Okay? Bible says this here. It is painful to be the parent of a fool. I'm so grateful for my kiddos because they're very smart kids. They do some crazy stuff sometimes, but they're looking at me crazy right now. They're very smart kids. They're very, very smart kids. And we were talking about this yesterday. Picked up Giselle from her birthday party, and we're talking about some things that one of her friends is dealing with her parents. And I told her, I said, listen, you guys are incredibly blessed. You got a father that absolutely loves you. You got a mother that absolutely loves you. You got grandparents, you got cousins, you got all these people connected you that absolutely love you. You don't have an excuse to be foolish. You don't have an excuse to do crazy things, right? Because the Bible says that it is painful to be the parent to a foolish kid. It is. And nothing keeps you up at night, I heard, more than your kid that's out here doing crazy stuff and you praying and they being crazy, right? Look at this, verse 22. A cheerful heart is good medicine, but a broken spirit saps a person's strength, right? If you want to feel better about your life, work on your heart. Because when your heart is in good condition, then it's like good medicine to your spirit. This is why some of your energy, some of you look so bright. I did a YouTube video. It's going to come out on Tuesday. I'm back on my personal YouTube channel. I'm determined to stick with it this time, but I just needed a break for a couple of months. And I'm going to do it because I just enjoy talking to people about different topics, subjects to just make people better today than what they were yesterday. But one of the things that I talked about was just really just this personal journey that I've gone through, and really how that shows in your personal energy. I was walking through the bathroom one day this week and washing my hands, and I looked up, and when I looked up, I noticed my eyes were just clear. I was like, wait a minute, I don't have no eye bags. And I couldn't believe it. Like, no eye bags. I don't get a lot of sleep still. I get some sleep, but I don't get as much sleep as I could get. I wish I could get 8 hours every night, but most of the time I can't, and I'm normally up working, or I get to bed later and I can't. Let me tell you something, y'all. When you work on your heart, it really is like good medicine. If you work on having a pure heart, good energy from the inside out, what that does is it permeates to the outside of you. And you'll look, and you don't look as stressed out. Your eye bags are going away. Some of y'all got eye bags right now. And the reason you do is because you feel with stress. And I'm telling you, you got to get rid of that stress. Work on your heart. Work on the inside of you. Do the personal work. Do the personal growth work. And you'll see it'll begin to radiate. And then people will stop you and be like, look, man. Yeah, and I get tired too. But people will stop you and be like, man, I don't know what it is, Doc, but you just look amazing. Like, your energy is super strong. I get that compliment literally 2 to 3 times a week from random people. And it's because I had done the work to make sure my heart is in a good place. I've done the inner work. You see, you heard me tell Giselle, get out my journal. I got one of my journals here. I do the work, because when you work on you, people will know it. All right. And a broken spirit saps a person's strength. So the opposite is true. When your spirit is broken, your strength will go away. Literally, like It'll be hard for you to focus, hard for you to think, hard for you to accomplish things, hard for you to stay focused, to work, to build, to do the things that you need to do. Verse 23, 17:23. Y'all bear with me. I got 6 more verses. 23. The wicked take secret bribes to pervert the course of judgment, of justice. We understand that. We talked about justice earlier, but wicked people will take bribes to do perverse things. Look at verse 24. Sensible people keep their eyes glued on wisdom, but a fool's eyes wander to the ends of the earth. So sensible people, people who got sense, only pay attention to and entertain wise things, which is why I want to say this here. Record this. I need everybody to put this in the comments right now. Be very careful what you entertain in this season. Hurry. You're going to be the smartest person at the water cooler all week. Be very careful of what you entertain in this season. Be very careful of what you entertain in this season. Stop entertaining everybody. Stop entertaining everything. Stop entertaining everything you heard. Stop entertaining everything you see. Stop entertaining every space you go into. Because I'm here to tell you, wicked people, sensible people will stay focused on wise things. And folks who end up in trouble are typically people who entertain everything that comes their way. Y'all, I don't believe everything that I hear. It's just dumb, number one. Number two, it's impossible for everything you hear to always be true. Now, it don't mean everything you hear gonna always be false, because sometimes you gotta check the source. And that's a different conversation for a different day. Some of you have heard stuff on people from crazy sources, and you heard it on people that were good people from crazy sources, and you went with the crazy source. Y'all better learn how to check your sources. I don't entertain everything I hear. I don't entertain everything I hear, because a lot of times I got to pay attention to who I heard it from. Okay, so you got to check the source, but more than that, you got to be very careful of who or what you entertain in this season. All right, look at this. Verse 25. We're almost there. Foolish children bring grief to their father and bitterness to the one who gave them birth. We already talked about that, right? Again, nothing's gonna make you more bitter and heartache than to have kids are just doing crazy stuff, right? Which is why it's so important that you raise your children, raise them up the right way. The Bible tells us that we raise our children as a child. When they grow older, they won't depart. They may have some challenges, they may have some struggles, but when you know you've raised your children right, you have a peace at night. You can go to sleep at night because you know you've done everything right by them. If my two go out here and do something crazy, it's going to be on them, because I've done everything I could to raise them. And I'm saying this because they're sitting right here looking at me. We've had this conversation before. You ain't going to fail because you didn't have a reason. You ain't going to have a fail because you didn't have knowledge or a chance. You're going to fail because you just did crazy stuff. Are y'all listening to me? That's the kind of way, that's the kind of way you've got to raise your children so that they understand that. All right. Verse 26. I'm almost done, y'all. Proverbs 17, verse 26. It is wrong to punish the godly for being good or to flog leaders for being honest. We talked about this earlier, right? And when we had the social justice commentary, and that is, God doesn't like for us to punish people who do good things. He doesn't like for us to reward people who do evil things, right? Look at verse 27. A truly wise person, this is good, y'all. Oh, I wish I had 15 minutes to deal with verse 27. A truly, in 28. This is, oh man, it ends with a bang. Verse 27. A truly wise person uses few words. A person with understanding is even tempered. Y'all, you know what I've learned? The wiser I become, the less I talk. Doc, you ain't posted on social media a long time. Doc, we ain't seen no posts. Doc, you good? I'm good. I learned something though. The wiser I become, the less I ought to talk. I want you to record that. The wiser you become, the less you will talk. Y'all don't like this kind of wisdom here. The wiser you become, the less you will talk. There's a whole lot I could say about a whole lot. And you know what I've also discovered? There's a whole lot you could say that could clear up a whole lot. But you learn that the wiser you become, the less you try to explain. I don't have time to explain. That, listen, I not only do I not have time to explain, I've understood that there's a greater value associated with me and my words and the things that I say and do, that if I pop off and correct everything, sometimes I can do more harm than damage, or do more harm than good. Y'all better listen to me. The wiser you become, you understand the weight of your words. There's a lot I could get out here and do lives on. Have you ever felt like, let me just see who's going to be honest with me. Have you ever felt like wanting to do a live on social media just to address foolishness? I'm going to raise my hand. I wish I could put it virtually in the comments. Have you ever wanted to do a live on social media just to address foolishness? I have. I absolutely have. I wanted to do lives to set the record straight, to address foolishness, to address what people said, to address what people did, to address what people said behind my back. I wanted to, but I've learned something, y'all. It's better for me to take a social media break and get myself together and be few with my words than to be addressing everything. I'm telling y'all, truly wise people use few words, number one. And then here's the other thing that a wise person does. A person who is wise or has understanding, they're even tempered. You know what that means? They don't get too high. They don't get too low. They don't get too in the mountain. They don't get stuck too far in the valley. And wise people end up in the valley too. We have hard times too. We have difficult moments too. People will try to treat you like you superhuman when you wise. People will try to treat you like you superhuman when you gifted. People will try to treat you like you superhuman when you got a lot to offer. No, I'm human like anybody else. I have bad days like anybody else. You can ask people that know me, ask my kid, I have bad days like anybody else. But a wise person doesn't get too high and they don't get too low. They learn how to ride the middle. And you're going to discover that when your wisdom is in check, you're going to be great at riding the middle, which means life going to happen to you and very exciting things going to happen. You might celebrate for a second, but you're going to come right back to the middle. Or something really bad might happen to you and you might hit a wall where you hit a slump and you just really just go through a depressed or difficult time for a second, but you're going to come right back to the middle. Wise people don't get too high. They don't get too low. They learn how to ride the middle. Last verse, y'all. And it ties in with 27 so good. Even fools are thought wise when they keep silent. With their mouths shut, they seem intelligent. Listen, y'all, here's the lesson in this. Even foolish people are considered to be smart when they don't talk. Telling Tiffany. Oh, Jesus. In court, Lord Jesus. There's nothing funnier. If you ever have to go to court for anything, speeding ticket, whatever, and they hear multiple cases at the same time, you ever have to go to court for anything, there's nothing more comedic than going to court. There's nothing more comedic than going to court. And let me tell you why. Because when you're in court, and especially if you're in court and you're listening to people who don't have an attorney, folks get in court and what do? Run their mouth. The judge asks you one question. So did you speed or not speed? Well, sir, ma'am, I didn't speed. I was kind of speeding, but what had happened was I was running late from this. That ain't what the judge asked you. He or she asked you one question. Were you speeding? The answer is, well, the speed limit is 65. And if you're going over it, the answer is yes. If you're going under it, the answer is no. But what happens? People get in court and they tell on themselves. They divulge too much information because all they do is run their mouth. The Bible tells us here, even fools come across intelligent when you learn how to shut up. And we see this in court. If you go to court and you know you're guilty, many of us have been to court, speeding tickets, stuff like that, and we knew we were speeding. If you go to court and you do as less talking as possible, you have the right attitude, you have the right energy and spirit when you're in there, you answer the questions, you're courteous and respectful, and you do as less talking as possible, I've learned that judge, even if the judge is having a bad day or if that judge is a hardball or something like that, I've learned that judge will grant more mercy because your temperament is more quiet and you ain't doing too much. But no, we get in court, we be running our mouth, saying all of this other crazy stuff, and before you know it, the judge then found you guilty and fined you an extra $500. All right, so it tells us even fools are thought wise when they shut up. When you learn how to be quiet, even you come across as being smart, even if you don't think you're smart, you come across as smart when you learn how to just keep your mouth shut. Y'all, I want you, I want you to work on the art of learning how to be quiet, because if you can master your tongue, you can master your life. That's the last note I'm giving you. Record it. If you can master your tongue, you can master your life. This is a lesson that I learned. I have learned, and sometimes God will keep giving you lessons until you learn it. And I have finally mastered this lesson, finally. And that lesson is simple. You don't have to respond to everything. You don't have to explain everything. What's known don't need to be explained. What's understood don't need to be explained. When your reputation is what it is, you don't have to explain stuff, especially foolish stuff. When you can master your tongue, you can master your life. And until you master your tongue, you'll never master your life. Why? Because life gonna happen, and it's gonna get the best of you, and it's gonna have you all over the place. You cannot control the words you say. Y'all, did this bless anybody today? Man, I hate this. This is coming to an end today. I really hate this is coming to an end today. Did this bless anybody? If it did, I want you to type in the comments, put a heart in the comments, an amen in the comments, do something. If this blessed you today, the way it blessed me, because this is powerful, man. You know, Proverbs is such a powerful book, and I love the book of Proverbs. There's so many lessons in it. This is why I encourage all of you to read a chapter a day. Read a chapter every single day, because there's so many lessons in this. Listen, y'all, I want to pray. I got to hurry up against time. I want to pray for you. If you've got a prayer request, something you want me to pray for, I want you to type it in the comments really quickly. For those of you that don't know, every single morning, we get up in the morning and at 4:28, and we pray over your prayer requests. And so before I come downstairs to work out, to meditate, to do anything else, first thing that I do is I pray over your requests. The ones that you type in the comments, the ones that you email to us. So if you've got a prayer request, if you've got something you want me to pray for this week, I want you to type it in the comments quickly. Let's see it. And if it's something that we can't read, maybe it's a personal situation that's too personable for you or concerning your life, you can email your prayer request to info@rehabcc.org. That's info@rehabcc.org. You can email your prayer request there and put in the subject line prayer request. All right, that's very important, so that the email is routed to my personal address, and we want to make sure that we see it. We will respond to you. But I believe in the power of prayer. Why? Because somebody one day prayed for me, and people still pray for me. And prayer is absolutely a powerful remedy for our lives, right? It really helps us to give us peace and calm about our lives and where we are in our lives. So I want to pray for you. If you've got a prayer request, type it in the comments quickly. I'm going to give you 20 seconds. Type it quickly, or you can email it again to info@rehabcc.org. All right, somebody drop that email address in the comments quickly. There we go. I see Elder Misty there. info@rehabcc.org. Type in your prayer request there, or you can email it to me at info@rehabcc.org, and we will certainly pray over your prayer request and the thing concerning you. Listen, after you've typed in your prayer request, I want you to connect your hands like this as a sign of symbol of faith. Touch and agree with me wherever you are. We're going to pray together, and I'm just so excited to be coming to you this morning and praying with you. All right? Connect your hands like this as a sign of symbol of faith. Let's pray. Father, in Jesus' name, thank you today for your word. Thank you for this time of gathering and sharing you've given us. It is our prayer that something was said or done that has encouraged somebody, that has challenged somebody, that has inspired somebody to be the absolute best version of them that they can be. We thank you, God, for your word, and we thank you for finding us in your word. We thank you for the grace that you've given us daily to want to be better by your word. And so we ask, just this simple prayer that you would allow us to apply the word to our lives this week, again, so we can be the best versions of ourselves that you called us to be and that we desire to be. Now, God, for every prayer request that's been typed in the comments, for every prayer request that's been emailed to our inbox, for every prayer request that's on the heart and minds of someone that just doesn't have the strength to type it or say it, we lift these requests up to you now. And we ask, God, that you would answer the prayers of your people as only you can. Make ways, open doors, and meet needs. Grant heart's desires in a special way. We ask that you would do that now. Somebody this week literally needs a miracle in their lives. They need a miracle for their family. They need a miracle for their finances. They need a miracle for their children. They need a miracle in their health. We ask now, God, that you would be the God that you are, a miracle working, way making God, and that you would do it this week, that somebody this week might be able to testify by Friday that their back was against the wall, but that you made a way. God, I pray now that you would make a way for your people, that you would make a way in their relationships, that you would make a way in their career, that you would make a way in their finances, that you would make a way in their schooling, that you would make a way in their homes and in their health. Whatever it is that's concerning them, we lift it up to you now, God, and ask that you would just let this week be a week of breakthrough like never before. We thank you for these things, and we count them done in Jesus' name. Amen. Do me a favor. I want you to type in the comments quickly. It is so. You prayed that prayer of faith. I want you to put in the comments really quickly. It is so. God's answering prayers. God's making ways. God is opening doors. God is meeting needs. We know this to be the case. And I want you to type in the comments quickly. Every time you say amen, you're simply saying it is so. It is done. It is so. It is done. I want you to type it in the comments quickly. God's answering prayers. He's making ways for you. And I'm so excited about that. Listen, while you're doing that, if anybody wants to be saved, if anybody wants to dedicate their life to Christ, if anybody wants to recommit their life to Christ, I've got good news for you. You don't have to be perfect. I want to say it again slow. If you want to dedicate your life to Christ, if you want to commit your life to Christ, I've got great news for you. You don't have to be perfect. Nope. Don't have to be perfect. Don't have to do all the right things. Don't have to be all the right, say the right things. All you have to do is understand the one who is capable of saving you right where you are. Salvation is not about being perfect. Salvation is about being in right standing with God, right? Salvation is not about doing everything right. It's about being in right standing with God. What does it mean to be righteous or be in right standing with God? It means to make sure that God sees and knows your heart, right? How is he going to see and know your heart? Well, it's simple. It's because you're going to give your heart over to him. Romans 10:9 tells us that if we confess with our mouths and believe with our hearts that Jesus Christ is who he is and did what he did for us, we are saved. It's that simple. It ain't magic. It ain't osmosis. This thing is about understanding the person that can save you. So if you want to be saved, maybe you're listening to me today. You want to be saved and you're not perfect like me. You've got a lot of flaws, just like I do. But you want to be saved right where you are. I want you to stop what you're doing, literally. If you're in the bed, I want you to sit up. If you're at brunch, I want you to put down the bacon. If you're in the swimming pool in LA, I want you to swim to the side. I need your undivided attention because I want you to repeat this prayer of faith with me, and God's going to save you right where you are. All right? Is that a deal? Say this with me. I'm a sinner. I'm not perfect. I've made some mistakes. I have some flaws. And I have some failures. But I do believe that Jesus Christ was born of a virgin. He lived on this earth just like I'm living. He suffered, he bled, and he died on the cross. But 3 days later, rose again for my sins. Now, because he lives, I can live, and I am saved. My friends, if you prayed that prayer of faith with me, I want to welcome you to the royal family of Jesus Christ. You made an incredible decision today, an incredible decision in giving your life over to Christ. If you did that, do me a favor, type in the comments quickly, #salvation. Doc, why you want us to tell us that we did it? It's simple. We want to celebrate with you. The Bible says heaven rejoices when one soul gives their life back to him. Put in the comments quickly, #salvation. We are literally virtually clapping our hands with you because you've made an incredible decision today to give your imperfect life over to a perfect master. We're so excited you made that decision. Now, go find you a church home somewhere. I don't care where you go. Go somewhere where you can learn, you can continue to grow, study, and evolve spiritually and evolve in your spiritual walk with Christ. Make sure it's a Bible teaching, Bible preaching, Bible believing ministry so that you can be surrounded by other believers so that God can fill you with his spirit and you can continue to grow in your faith. Maybe you're tuned in today and you're saying, listen, I love Rehab. Man, I've never been on this broadcast before. I never heard the word taught like this. And I would love to be a member of this church, maybe in person or maybe just a virtual member. Listen, I'd love to walk alongside you on this journey in your faith. Listen, if you want to be a part of the Rehab Christian Center, it's simple. Just type in the comments, #membership. It's that simple. #membership. And one of our faithful moderators will see your comment and they will reach out to you, get your information. And it's really just that simple. We're excited because in a couple of weeks, we will start our virtual new members courses. And that will allow us to continue to remain engaged for those of you that are connected to us virtually. And that will be critically important once we get our building and we're back in a building so that we can all continue to remain engaged and connected. And I'm excited about that. Listen, I want you to type in the comments quickly, #membership. We would love to walk alongside you in this journey that is your faith and be here with you every step of the way. Listen, finally, I'm done. I want to challenge you to give really quickly. If this message, if this ministry has been a blessing to you, I want to challenge you to give today. We are a tithing ministry. We are a giving ministry. I believe in tithing and giving. In fact, I gave my tithes on yesterday. Got paid yesterday and was really excited to tithe and just cash out the church my tithes. Why? Because God blesses us when we return back to him a part of what he's given us. If this message, if this ministry has been a blessing to you, I want to challenge you to give today. Maybe you don't have a ministry to give a tithe to. You can certainly tithe to us. Or maybe you just want to sow an offering seed. I want to challenge you to give today. You can give one of three ways. You can give via Cash App, $REHABCCGIVE. That's $REHABCCGIVE. You can give through our website, www.rehabcc.org, and simply choose online giving. Or you can text Rehab Works to 336-642-3210. That's Rehab Works to 336-642-3210. Again, you can give one of three ways: Cash App, $REHABCCGIVE. Our website, www.rehabcc.org, and simply choose online giving. Or you can text Rehab Works to 336-642-3210. That's Rehab Works to 336-642-3210. And we know that if you give, God's going to bless you in a tremendous way. And I'm just so excited again that we've been in this virtual environment, for those of you that have continued to persist and give in this space. And I want you to know that God's going to bless you in a tremendous way. Listen, y'all, I love y'all. I'm proud of y'all. I'm rooting for y'all. I want y'all to have a tremendous Sunday today. I want you to like this video if you haven't already. I need you to share this video to your social media feed. Tag the church. You can tag us on Instagram at TheREHABexperience, on Facebook, the Rehab Christian Center, and on YouTube at TheREHABCC. Tag the ministry. We will certainly reshare that. But share this broadcast, share this message with someone, and then make plans to join us this Tuesday at 7:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here at the Rehab Christian Center for life study. And we simply can't wait to see you. It will be November the 1st. We can't wait to see you on that day. Listen, if you're going trick-or-treating tomorrow, whatever you're doing, be very safe, be very careful, be very cautious and mindful of your own children and other children tomorrow. And we will make plans to see you on this Tuesday. All right, y'all. I love y'all. I'm praying for y'all. I'm rooting for you. I want you to have a fantastic week. And we will see you this Tuesday at 7:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I love you. I'm praying for you. Peace and blessings.
Thank you for watching the Rehab Christian Center live experience. If this broadcast has been a blessing to you and you would like to be a blessing to our leader, Dr. Zeb Talley III, you can sow a seed into his ministry by Cash App at $Pastor ZT3. It is our prayer that this message of hope encouraged, enlightened, and empowered you to be better. Please tune in Tuesday at 7:08 p.m. for our life study experience. And as always, be blessed and have a wonderful week.